20-year-old Asia Johnson was fatally shot while pushing a 3-month-old baby in a stroller down the street. The incident occurred at around 8:23 p.m. on the 29th of June 2022, while Asia was walking with her infant near East 95th Street and Lexington Avenue in Manhattan, New York, only steps away from the Samuel Seabury playground, where other young children were enjoying a summer evening with friends. The authorities said that a man dressed in all black wearing a hooded sweatshirt and sweatpants approached Asia from behind and fired a single shot into her head at very close range before fleeing on foot eastbound down East 95th Street. She was rushed to a local hospital but was pronounced dead at 9:20 p.m. The baby was unharmed. Asia was a mother to 2 children, aged 2 years old and 3 months old, to 2 different fathers, and she was aspiring to become a pediatric nurse. The victim's family told the investigators that Asia was planning to meet the 3-month-old baby's father that night to talk things out. Asia's mother, Lisa DeSort, has accused the police of failing to protect her daughter from the allegedly abusive ex-boyfriend, after she said Asia had made multiple domestic violence complaints against him prior to her murder. Asia's been living with her mother, but recently moved into a shelter in East Harlem after receiving death threats. The investigation into the matter continues. 21-year-old Jalen Holton has been fatally shot in the head while at a bar with friends after a patron became angry because he couldn't play pool. It was the 27th of June 2022, and Jalen spent the day out with some friends and was the group's designated driver. She had recently turned 21, and her friends persuaded her to go out. They'd earlier gone out to a golf driving range called Top Golf before spending the night at Philly Bar and Restaurant, located in the 2400 block of Welsh Road in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which was holding its weekly pool tournament. It was just after 11:30 p.m, and Jalen was hanging out with her friends at the bar when 3 men entered the premises. One of them wanted to play billiards, but got turned down due to the venue's sole table being used for the competition. The man became upset and started causing a disturbance, and he was escorted out of the bar with the 2 other men he arrived with. As the disturbance escalated, patrons in the bar were advised to stand at the back of the bar for their own safety. The authorities said the man walked 200 feet across the parking lot to his dark-coloured pickup truck to retrieve a gun. He then fired 15 shots at the bar, striking the bar's brick wall 10 times, while 5 bullets entered the bar's front window before fleeing in his vehicle. One of those bullets fatally struck Jalen in the head while she was standing at the back of the bar. The police responded to the scene on reports of gunfire, and when they arrived they found Jalen unresponsive on the floor of the bar with a gunshot wound to her head. She was rushed into surgery, however she succumbed to her injuries at around 4 a.m. No one else at the bar was hit by bullets, though a man in his 30s suffered cuts to his face from the shattered glass and was treated. Jalen's devastated mother, whose name remains anonymous, said the hardest thing to come to terms with is her daughter never goes out. Jalen's emotional uncle James Holton said, "She was a good kid. She worked and was home a lot. She wasn't a street person and didn't go out very often." She said she was wrapping up a night out with friends when, with no warning, she was about to become the latest victim of gun violence in the city. The police said that Jalen was an innocent bystander in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were reviewing surveillance footage both inside and outside of the premises to identify and locate the gunman responsible, as well as the 2 men he was with. On the 29th of June 2022, 17-year-old Tyrone Harvin was found guilty of raping and murdering 83-year-old Dorothy Mae Neal in her own home when he was just 14 years old. The events unfolded on the 29th of August 2018, when Dorothy's neighbour contacted the police to conduct a welfare check on her because they hadn't seen her for a few days. The authorities responded to an apartment located in the Rosemont Garden apartment complex in the 2300 block of Winchester Street in Baltimore, Maryland. When officers entered her home, they found her unresponsive body. The police said that Dorothy had been raped and struck in the head with a lamp. At the scene, the officers found used condoms, blood, and the lamp, which had also had blood on it. DNA testing matched Tyrone to the blood found at the scene. Fingerprints found at the scene also matched Tyrone. Dorothy was rushed to the University of Maryland Hospital for treatment, where she died the following morning. The authorities said that Tyrone and Dorothy knew each other because Tyrone helped Dorothy with chores, and they lived next door to each other. Tyrone was previously convicted of armed robbery and assault in December of 2017. He wore a GPS ankle monitor, but that was removed for good behaviour prior to attacking Dorothy. He's due for sentencing on the 3rd of January 2023, where he faces life in prison. 27-year-old Madison Hart was arrested after she left a 1-year-old baby in the car while she drank at a bar. The incident occurred late at night on the 25th of June 2022, when deputies were called to the Ticket Sports Bar, located at 7333 North Davis Highway in Pensacola, Florida. The authorities said that people at the bar were concerned about Madison as she tried to leave while intoxicated. When officers asked Madison how she got to the bar, she told them that she was given a ride there. She didn't mention that she drove herself and a 1-year-old baby girl to the bar, who had been left inside the car. After deputies took Madison to a medical facility, a family member told deputies that she had a child. The officers then drove back to the bar and found the child inside the car. The windows were broken to rescue the baby, who was experiencing heat-related illness. The child was left in the car for 2 hours during the heat wave. However, the child will make a full recovery. Madison was charged with neglect of the child with great bodily harm. She's held at the Escambia County Jail on a $15,000 bond.